everyone, Happy New Day to you. I am Sapphire and today I want to share my faith journey with you. Yes, I think it's very important to share our journeys and our testimonies, and so I'm being bold today and coming and sharing my story in hopes that it will encourage somebody out there. So stay tuned to hear my story. Alright everyone, so as I said before, I'll be talking about my faith journey, right? So if you check back, you'll notice I've been on this channel for a few years, but it's been, crickets for a while. And there are times when I beat myself up about why I have this YouTube channel. I started posting about my family and then I just not happening. But I believe that God was doing a work in me, and so I'm back now and I am ready, and I feel like I have something substantial to offer. I don't want to just be somebody vlogging, just showing my life. I'm hoping that I'll actually reach somebody with this, right? So, recap. Who am I? The name Sapphire was given to me by a client, so my real name is actually Shauna Gay Case. But on my socials, it's Sapphire. It's so on Instagram and so forth, it's I am Sapphire. So it's a name that basically just stuck with me. I love it. It fits my personality. Even though recently I've come to find out that Shauna has a wonderful name, and that is another testimony for another day. All right, so let me go right into my faith journey. All right, so Jamaican mom, wife, mother of 3 kids. I have a 14-year-old girl, an 11-year-old boy, and a 6-year-old boy. Now the 6-year-old is he was born with a skin condition, so he's a special needs kid, and that is a whole story and a half, and I will definitely be putting out a video on that soon, and I'll explore his condition and what all of that entails. But his condition has influenced my faith. I can't even deny that. All right, but going all the way back to how this all started, right? So Jamaican mommy, Jamaican daddy, I live with my father and my stepmother, and they did not go to church with me, but I was one of those kids who had to go to church every Sunday. They sent me. I had to wear my frilly frock. Well, for a time, thankfully my stepmother did kind of cut that crap out after a while. But yes, I was the typical Jamaican kid going to church in a frilly frock, and them stockings. I hated the stupid stockings that were scratching my skin and everything. But anyways, I digress. So I was that kid going to church every Sunday diligently, in Sunday school, all them things. I went to Church of God of Prophecy in Ocherios. If anybody is watching from that church, big up. I don't know if you remember the little redhead pitney, the little redhead girl. Like, who forgets the little redhead girl? I don't know. I haven't been back to that church in years, but you guys are dear to my heart. That is where seeds were planted, and you guys know, if you're a believer, you understand how the seed thing go. So seeds were planted, and God is so amazing. Sometimes it does take a while for things to flourish, and one day I want to talk about this whole seed situation, because in reality, a seed, when something is a seed, it takes a really long time for it to grow into a big tree, don't? So that's basically what happened there. So anyways, so the thing about when I was little, I think I was 10 years old. I remember being 10 one day and coming home from church. It was a very powerful sermon that had happened that day, and a lot of kids were called to the pulpit. They were called up to the altar rather, for baptism. And I actually don't remember what the sermon was about, but I know in all of the deepest parts of me that day I was touched. Like, I felt the presence of God like I'd never felt it before, and I was convinced that this is time. I'm ready. I want to give my life to the Lord. So I go home now and I tell my daddy the good news, the big news. I'm ready. My father said, no, Like he literally said no. My father said no, no, Shauna. Obviously, nobody ever called me Sapphire at that time. He said, no, Shauna, you're not getting baptized. You are 10 years old. You don't understand what you're getting yourself into. And I want you to wait until you're older and you're sure of what you're doing. I was crushed. I was very crushed. I was really confused because from what I understood, like, this is what you're supposed to want to do, right? You're supposed to want to give your life to the Lord and these things. So I never understand. But anyways, that doesn't matter anymore. So I continued going to that church for years. And I remember one day I was at church and another powerful situation was going on, and he called everybody down to the altar again. And this time I was a teenager. By this time my youngest sister, my younger sister, the one that lived with me with my dad, Amoya. Hi, Amoya. She came with me, and I remember the way how things were set at that time is there was an upstairs section where Sunday school was kept, and so the kids, the younger ones and the teenagers, we all tended to be up there, and then the congregation are downstairs, and we could watch everything. So what happened now is they called everybody down for altar call, and a bunch of kids went down there and gave their life to the Lord, and they prayed, and it was a wonderful, massive, powerful piece of something. And my sister and I were the only ones that were left upstairs. We're the only ones who chose not to go down there. My sister was really, I don't remember the age at that time, but she did young. It would have been understood why she never go there. But me, I tell you, say the whole church did turn around and I looked upon me. Like, they honestly, I remember there's a lady there called Sister Mitchell. I believe she had a role like a deaconess. I don't remember how them things they work, but I remember she prayed her socks off, and at one point, she stopped the prayer and looked upon me like, like, get with it. And like they were praying so hard. I feel sorry, like I wish I could go back to them and apologize and tell them, say, sorry for being so stubborn, I just never want to come down. And the truth is, in that moment, I felt pressured. And so I'm actually happy I didn't go down there. But I remember in her prayer, she was saying that she just didn't understand how the devil could have such a stronghold on me. Or I don't want to misquote her, but the gist of it was she didn't understand, because I was a diligent attender of things at church, and I was a good girl, warm, kind, those attributes, like Christian attributes. I had them, if I can show off. But yeah, that just wasn't the time. And at the time I did feel pressured, and I remember this heavy feeling on me, like, so while they were praying for me, I decided to pray my own separate prayer, and I said, Lord, dear Lord, I want to come to you. I love you. I love you. I want to come to you. But Lord, let it be a different way. Call me kind of on my terms, like not, and I really saw it's supposed to go, but still the prayer that I did pray was, God, not in this pressure, not under this pressure. I know there must be another way. So I was praying while they were praying, and my praying was counteracting their prayer, and we just never go. So fast forward, because I don't want this to take forever, and I talk a lot, guys, I'm sorry. So yeah, let me get to the point. So now fast forward through teenage years, and then going all the way up to UA. So I got to UA now, I'm 19, 20, 21, them time there, and when time you start go university and you start looking at everything at a rather intellectual level, like everything, you're just preying things on another level. And so one day, I remember being invited to watch this documentary in a lecture theater. I can see the lecture theater and everything right now in my head. Anyway, so I got watch the documentary, and I think it was called Zeitgeist, or it was talking about the Zeitgeist, and this was the first time I ever heard about them things there. All I knew was Christianity, and of course, I would have studied religious education in high school, so I knew of other religions, but I did not understand up until that point all the discrepancies that exist in the way how Christianity is portrayed, and there are lots of discrepancies especially not to offend anybody. Gosh, I hope I don't offend anybody, but like the Roman Catholic way of explaining Christianity and just things from a certain perspective. That's what I've been fed, that's what I thought, that's what I knew. And so when I watched that documentary, I was pissed. I was like, I've been lied to. The story of Jesus don't make no sense. I think I got to the level where I probably was blaspheming. I don't know. But basically, after that documentary, I became very Afrocentric because I started paying attention to the fact that Jesus could never have been a white man. And Jesus was not a white man, okay? Let's clear that up. He could not have been a white man, but that is besides the point. And right now, it's besides the point. So, that discrepancy plus a couple of others, got to me. And so I pulled away a little. I got real Afrocentric, and Afrocentrism is a good thing, and one can be a Christian and be Afrocentric. Let me just clear that up. So now, so I got to this point in my faith where I'm not a baptized Christian yet. I identify as Christian, but I believed only in God. Like I never ever questioned God's existence. I was always certain of his existence. I never could understand how somebody could not get it, but that again is not my thing. I can't judge. Everybody's mind works differently, and everybody's experience is different and valid. And so I started actually thinking. I remember at one point I equated the story of Jesus to the story of Santa Claus. Like I got that out of order, and also I remember saying once that Jesus himself said that the most important thing is to love God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind, and to treat others as you would have them treat you. So me now say, all right, me no business about the rest of religion, me no business about the rest of things, no fluff, all of it is irrelevant. All me know is me love God, and me I go love people like how like how me want them to love me. I'm going to, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That whole thing. I thought that is the way to go, and that's the simplest thing, and everything else is not relevant and complicated. So the funny thing is, from that point, so I'd be like 21, I don't know, all the way up to, let me see, I got baptized 5 years ago. So yeah, 5 years ago, up until for years, over a decade, I thought, I bought into the lie that I'm a good person, I believe in God, and you couldn't tell me seminar got heaven. Couldn't tell me that. Me did certain, 100% certain say, heaven already have my, booking. Me booked already. Couldn't tell me nothing. So anyways, fast forward now to the baptism situation. So my son, my youngest, was born in 2014. The night that he was born was a very, very traumatic night for me. Coming back from, I did a C-section. Coming back from the C-section and I was at Victoria Jubilee, at Jubilee, KPH, big up to all the staff down there. Those people. The people at the NICU, at the pediatric section, at whatever you call it. Listen, the people on the maternity ward, sorry. The people on the maternity ward at KPH, them deserve a pay grade. They really were, really are dedicated people. And especially, you see, doctors who have to deal with newborns, pediatric surgeons, I believe that they have the toughest job in the world, because you do everything you try your best, and to see a baby die must be something hella traumatic. It must be really hard. So anyway, so my son is in a NICU because his situation is serious, and I'm on the bed, and me I'm mad out. Me I lose my mind, because me sit down on my bed. This is my third child. All the other time then me get my baby, they sit down on my bed now, on the bed a rock, coming on no baby. Other people get them baby, other people are breastfeed, me can't breastfeed. And my child has a condition I couldn't even pronounce at the time. Epidermolysis bullosa, of course I can say it now, I can roll off my tongue. But yes, while I was there and my head was splitting, I felt like I was going to just lose it. I heard God speak to me. God said, "Be still." He said, be still and know. And we all know that verse, Psalms 46 verse 10, right? That is the verse that held me that day, that night, that moment. It gave me strength, it gave me hope. So that's our next story. I'm going to talk about the whole birth of my son Marley another time. But that was my first encounter being sure that God said something to me. So now, fast forward to 2015. I'm taking care of Marley. Marley is doing as good as we know he can be doing, because his situation is kind of tough. Or, you know, that is how, if you were to Google his condition, you'd see it's no easy task. But so I'm taking care of him, and I have different people who, you know, like, people have really reached out and sent prayers. And I remember specifically one friend from all the way in high school. It's not a friend that I was really close to in high school, but we got closer, I think, because of the birth of Marley. Honestly, we would keep in touch with each other, but you know. So anyway, so you know, after certain times, it's on social media that I have a baby with this and that, with this condition. And she had reached out to me before. She came and she visited him, and she, you know, loved on him and thing. And then she called one day and said, hey, Shauna, can I come by and can I bring a friend over? We want to pray for Marley. So I said, sure, of course. Now here is the thing, right? The day before she called, I was sitting outside at the apartment complex that I used to live on. I used to live on Kensington Crescent in Kingston. And I used to sit outside for breaks, you know. So there was this book I was reading, and it's a very popular book. Most people know it. Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Do you know it? There's a movie and there's a book. And read the book. I'm sure the movie was okay, but the book, you know, it's always better when it's a book. So I'm reading this book, and I'm really taken by the fact that she has a relationship with God. And I just never understood up until that point that you could have like an actual real relationship with God. And the truth is, I was jealous of her. I was like, what? You can't talk to God, I gotta talk to you and someday. And I just didn't really like that story. So I remember stopping where I was in the book, and I prayed the most sincere prayer. Simple and sincere. I said, God, you are real. I know you are real. And I want to have relationship with you. Since you are real, what, you know, like, you are who I want to have relationship with. So Lord, you know, please show me the right. At that point, I thought that there were several paths to God. I thought that whichever way was right. I didn't think that there was just one path to God. And a lot of people still think that. And my encouragement there, and I can only encourage you based on what I experienced, is to pray a prayer to God, asking him for a relationship. Like, talk to him, because one thing I can tell you is he's going to respond to that. So anyways, I prayed that prayer about sincere relationship with him and the right path to him. And the next day, I need to insert something. So funny enough, that same evening when I was reading that book, I got a call from a lady who lives in St. Thomas. I'm not trying to portray St. Thomas in any way, but I'd gotten a call from her. Another friend of mine, a good friend of mine, had told me about this lady that reads palms, and that lady called back to say yes, she could set up a meeting with me to read my palm. And after I get the call, then I did have one weird feeling again. I remember the prayer that I did make earlier, so I made my prayer. I said my prayer. Then after the call, I just said another prayer. I was like, God, again, you know, whatever the right true path is to you, please show me. So had Tracy not called the next day to say she coming by, I probably would have explored getting my palm read and whatnot. So anyway, so Tracy comes by. I hope she doesn't mind me calling her name. She is a writer, and she's developing a nice magazine. I'll put a link in the description so you can read it. Yes, so Tracy shows up with, when she said a friend, I didn't have any clue who was coming. So outside again, Tracy brought the corner. When Tracy brought the corner, I see a short, very dark skinned man, beautiful, you know, nice blue, black, pretty. You know, one time black skin, nice and pretty. Anyways, that's irrelevant. But anyway, so she comes around the corner with her friend, and I see a man, and he's short. And him being short don't have anything to do with that, but I obviously just telling you what I remember. So he comes up to me, and me say, the man just had a presence about him. Pastor Joshua Aluma Kinwa. He is Nigerian, so you know, as him open him out and start talking, me pick up on the accents, and I'm like, okay. But there's something else. Like, there was something else, and what he had, I wanted it. I wanted it. Him come and he started talking to me and everything, you know, them have manners and something. And he did not come there for me. He came there to pray for Marley. And so we met and we spoke, and he came inside, met Marley. And he did pray for Marley, and he did pay attention to Marley, but very quickly he was like, he's like, I need to talk to you. So I'm like, okay, talk to me. So Pastor Joshua, we had a conversation, and he asked me about my faith and where I was and so forth. And long and short of it is, by the end of the meeting with Pastor Joshua, I gave my life back to God. Like, it was just that. He has this presence about him. The man is in love with Christ, man. He's like, you know, the Bible say, your light should shine among men. His light was definitely shining. So anyways, that is how I gave my life to Christ verbally. And then, you know, I started meeting with Pastor Joshua at home. He actually started keeping a cell meeting right there at my house, because outside is kind of, you know, conducive to meetings. It's a nice setup. So Tracy started coming and a few other people, and we'd have cell meetings. And that was just one wonderful period of my life, because a lot of things started unfolding when I gave my life to Christ. And then, so that was like 2015 June, something earlier in the year, before summer. And then now, all the way to October now, I was attending their church, Christ Embassy. There's a branch in Kingston. My dogs. I don't know if you can hear my dogs. Right. So in October, a guest pastor came by. She flew in from Nigeria, and while she was giving her sermon there at the church, I don't know. I just got this eagerness in me, and I put my hand up, and I was like, you know, I just want to know, you know, I just want to know when can I be baptized? And she's like, wow, okay. All right, today is Sunday, or I don't know if it was Saturday, whatever it was. She said, okay, well, we can baptize you on Monday or on Tuesday, whatever the day was. I know it was October 19th, 2015, and that was Heroes Day in October that year. So she said, yeah, sure. And just like that, in no time, it set it up, and I went. Another sister of mine, not like a church sister, decided to come and get baptized as well. So we both got baptized on October 19th, 2015, at this river. I don't even know the name of the river. It's like one of them little mineral bath thing there on the way out to the airport in Kingston, you know. So we did our baptism. It was beautiful, and I will insert footage.
Born again, thank God I'm born again. Born again, thank God I'm born again. Oh, I'm born of the water.
So I hope you enjoyed seeing that little clip right there. It was such a proud moment for me to have given my life to God like that. So much has happened, and you know, God has been calling me for a long time. And so I hope this encourages you that, you know, like if you're a mom or you have a family member who just seems stubborn or seem like, you know, that they're not getting it, just pray for them, because when God is after you, he gonna get to you. And so even though my journey was all like that, all over the place. I'm just beyond grateful to have been called, and I know that I am that one. When Jesus spoke of the leaving the 99 to go get that one, I am that one. And I know that there's so many of you out there that was that one too. And so it's just amazing to be a part of the family. It's amazing to be a part of the kingdom. The truth is, you and I are family and will always be family for eternity. The Christian family is the only family that will serve forever. So I never got it, when people say sister and brother, me get it, but me never get it. So it's just amazing to be a part of the kingdom. Then now the best part of this whole story is, so I mentioned my kids, right? So of course I'm a Christian now, so I'm very serious about my faith. I'm very, very serious about my thing. So I actually do devotions at home with my children. Most days, almost every morning, unless we have a bad morning, and then we just, even if we don't have actual devotion, music gets played, gospel gets played in the house. I try to create this environment. I believe that we have to be very intentional about the environment that we set in our homes. And so for me, unapologetically, my hair is all over the place. Unapologetically, the environment in here is very Christ rich. It's very spiritually charged, because that is the atmosphere I go for. So anyway, so my 6-year-old now, even though he has this condition, I honestly don't think that there are many other little toddlers, little kids who could rival my Marley when it comes to faith. The kid is incredible. You will see, and I cannot wait to put out more videos to let you guys get to see the light that is in this child, because my Marley was born with this really tough condition, but God put some light in this child. It is, woo, I live with him and it affects me. So I cannot sit here with this and not share it with the world. So now, I gave you my story. Here is the final part of my story, because this is getting really long and I'm sorry. So now, 5 years being a Christian and growing from strength to strength, getting deeper and deeper and deeper into relationship with God. Recently, I did a 40-day fast, a 40-day Daniel fast. And when you do a Daniel fast, it's a prayer fast. So the focus is on prayer. And for this 40-day prayer fast, and also with the prayer, with the Daniel fast, you cut out some things. You cut out meat, you cut out dairy, you cut out artificial things. So basically, if God no make the thing, then don't eat it. That is how I did do it. That's how I saw it. And no sugar. Even though God made cane or something, it was processed to turn into sugar. But no, cut out the sweet stuff, right? But this isn't about how to do a Daniel fast. It's about what happened with the Daniel fast. So I on this fast, and I should mention there's another YouTuber that kind of prompted me, a Jamaican YouTuber. I'm proud of her. I love her video them. At Bingo, it's Kimbo, Dr. Kim Goodall. Thank you, girl. So I watched her video, and the thing is, I was hearing God tell me to go back on another fast. I've done a few, and when she did her fast, I was like, why am I waiting for some special time to do a fast? Let me just go do one. So I'm gonna do one, and I decided to finish this book I started called The Purpose Driven Life. Let me see if I can get that book for you. One sec, it's right here. Oopsie. No, I did not intend to show the book, so that's why I didn't have it. But here it is, The Purpose Driven Life. This is the old copy. It is by Pastor Rick Warren. I don't remember what he calls the new one, but this book, oh my gosh, it's 40 chapters, and because I was doing a 40-day fast, then that was just perfect timing, everything aligned, and whoa, I'd have to do another video talking about this book. So doing the purpose driven life, and around halfway through it one morning, we did devotion and we started the book of John. So we read the first chapter of John, and normally after I read a chapter, you know, our flow is different days, and on a different day, each day a different person is in charge of singing and praying. So at the end of our devotion, I always ask, you know, is there anything you guys want to ask? Is there anything you don't understand? You know, I let the children speak, because their opinions are so important, and it's good to make sure that they understand what they just read. And we had some very rich, I feel like sometimes I have the most rich biblical discussions with my children, and I'm very blessed for that. I'm really grateful for that. So anyways, we do devotion, and devotion actually done, and I sit down there, and Marley says to me, "Mommy, so John the Baptist baptized Jesus?" So I say, "Yes, baby, Jesus did get baptized." And he's like, "Oh," and he's like, and Jesus got baptized in a river?" And I say, "Yes." And he said, "Can I get baptized in a river? Can I get baptized in River Jordan?" And I said, "Well, you know, like I hurry up and nip that in the bud." But I was like, because I'm like, River Jordan, that is for. So I say, you can get baptized in a river. That is fine. And I was like, "So you really want to be baptized?" And he said, "Yes, I want to be baptized today." Like, I'm relaying the story, and I really wish I could have captured the innocence, the rawness. This dog is getting on my nerves. Yes, I wish I could have captured the power in that moment. Yes, my child was so serious. So I said, "What does it mean to be baptized, Marley?" And Marley said, "It means I choose Jesus. I choose Jesus. I will always choose Jesus. It means I choose Jesus, so I want to be baptized." See, guys, the 6-year-old kid, like, all on his own, nobody said anything to him, decided that he wants to be baptized like Jesus, because he's team Jesus. Are you team Jesus? Like, the kid said, "It means I choose Jesus." And really, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it means. It means you're choosing Jesus. And then the baptism is just the public display of that. So, without further ado, let's praise the Lord. I'm going to show you how all of that panned out.
Yes, when it comes to given to me as a man of God, within, as a minister within the United Church in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I now baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Alright, guys, so you saw that. I'm still on a high, because today is October 21st. I'm recording this on October 21st, and that happened 2 days ago. That was my baptism birthday. So God loves me so much that he orchestrated this thing to happen. Woo! He orchestrated this thing to happen on my birthday. And the thing is, so Marley said he wanted to be baptized, and then I met up with Pastor Nana Moses. He has videos here on YouTube. He's a poet, actor, playwright, reverend. He's a whole heap of things. He's a very creative person, and he's my friend. So I called up Nana, and Nana was overjoyed to baptize Marley. And then now he came over, he met up with Marley. And I had talked with Tyler and Caleb. Tyler is the 14-year-old. I talked with my daughter and my big son about if they want to be baptized, and I made it very clear that I am not pressuring anybody into this. This is a personal decision. It's a very important decision. I can't make it any clearer how important the decision is, but it is, nobody must force you. So when Pastor Nana came here, Caleb came down and joined the meeting and said he wants to give his life to the Lord too. He's ready. So my boys and I will now be celebrating our baptism anniversary every year together. And I thought that was just too special to keep to myself. And I have to share this with the world. And I'm so excited for all God is going to. I just did one little fast. We just gonna do one little fast and read one book. A very good book. And that's just one of the things that happened in the fast. But the rest of something that we're not going to really talk about today. And so, because I chat so much, it's 35 minutes. And I'm going to trim this down. So I probably shouldn't tell you it's 35 minutes. I don't know. So guys, I hope you enjoyed hearing that story. I hope I didn't bore you. Actually, if you are here still, it means I didn't and it was special to you. And this story, this thing happened, like I still can't believe it actually happened. And that God was so intentional in it, like his hand was in it. Even the choosing of who would baptize them, even that God orchestrated, like God set that one up like so beautiful. Like he immediately showed me what to do. Like I started off 2020. Everybody claiming how 2020 is their year to shine. It's everybody claiming 2020, and boy, not for the people that was claiming 2020, they not say no. Anyways, 2020 is what you make of it, I believe, even though I do understand that a whole heap has happened and a lot of people's families have gotten shaken up in some serious ways. And I pray for you. I'll keep praying for you. I have a prayer group, and I have some prayer warriors, you see. And when I tell you say nothing is out of bounds, then pray for everybody and everything. Alright guys, so I just wanted to say again, that I'm really thankful to you. If you've stuck around all this while to listen to that whole story, I'm really, really grateful to you for that. May God bless you richly. And I just encourage you to keep on seeking relationship with him. He wants so badly to be close to you. He is eager to talk to you. He's eager to be there for you. Trust me when I tell you, say, I know. I went from being a Bible basher, because there was a period of time when I actually used to bash the Bible and say this and that in the lie and one bag of something. So I've gone from being a Bible basher to being this devout Christ follower. Like I love Jesus. I love me some Jesus, and I feel so blessed because I see him showing up in my life, and I want that for other people. Like the shalom of God, the complete peace and joy that God gives you. I want everyone else to feel this. So this is my first video back, and one that I hope will really touch somebody out there. And stay tuned for more from us. I won't have you guys just sitting down and looking at my face all the time. I will definitely be bringing in Marley and Tyler and Caleb, and you'll get to see my family and our interesting dynamic. We homeschool. We kind of homeschool. We love God. We do all sorts of, interesting things. And we're a family that kind of goes against the grain. But most importantly, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and we are so happy to share that with you. So go enjoy your day. Have a blessed day.